I'm Debbie Grooms, and I'm married to Rob, and we have been attending the Evangelical Free Church for around 6-7 years. I grew up going to church. My mom and dad and brothers both attended, and then at one point, just my mom and I. But I accepted the Lord as my Savior when I was in 3rd grade. You know, I had a heart to live for the Lord, but I think because of just some other things going on, I just wasn't able to continue that into my teens. I fell into the peer pressure. When Rob and I got married, we started out at church here in Grand Rapids, and I hate to say it, but we did a lot of church jumping. We just seemed to have a hard time finding what was a good fit. And we ended up at Evangelical Free because our son John and daughter-in-law Bethany and our idea was that we were going to go there and attend and stay in the background. We just didn't want to connect. We didn't want to go through church hassles again. Changed that for us was getting involved in a community group. And Jim and Vicki Azure invited us into their group, and it was a good thing. We learned how important connection is. I never realized how important. I wish I had years ago, because I would have been a different friend, a different parent, different daughter, different wife. I think another thing that really caused us, or me, to bring down my walls and get connected was someone reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to teach Sunday school. And so that has brought a lot of connection. It's connected me with the parents, with the children, other co-teachers. It's been a good thing. And then we've gotten involved with another community group that we started here. So we're meeting new friends, and that's been extremely positive. Starting out, I think when I came out of my teens, and Rob was extremely instrumental as far as bringing me back into wanting that walk with the Lord. But for me, it was more do's and don'ts. If I did the right things, don't do the wrong things. Very performance orientated, fear-based. I was extremely fear-based. For different reasons. And so those things just really kept me bound up, and constantly trying and working and pushing until that was one of the sweetly broken times of going into a deep depression. And it was through that through Rob and some friends, and of course the Lord, that I understood what unconditional love was. I did not know what that was. And through that whole process and that journey of coming out of that, which wasn't overnight at all, it was some years, I really understood what that unconditional love was. And because of that, it changed me in that I was able to give unconditional love. I was able to know what grace was. I was able to give it. Before, when we talked, I mentioned that on the wall I had this verse that said, "Unless the Lord build the house, he labors in vain." And I saw that every day. I knew what it meant, but I did not realize that I had spent all my years raising the kids, raising with Rob, doing most of it myself. And that's pretty painful to look at. But I have to just trust that he goes back and does the remodeling where we've made mistakes. And it's not that we tried to make mistakes, we just didn't have the right tools to do it. And I think his grace is there for that. When it comes to adding on to a church and that whole process, it makes me think of when we know that we're adding to our family, whether it's expecting a baby, whether it's fostering, adoption, whatever. Before they come, we start preparing. And I look at the fact that they're continues to be people visiting. There are people that are hungry. There are people that are looking. And if they come and there's no room for them, where are they going to go? They're going to keep seeking. And I just think it's important that there's room for them. I think that even more than building-wise, there needs to be room in our hearts and in our lives for them. And we need to be available because people are hurting. Think about how being a Christian, I mean, we have our days where we're hurting and going through things, and we need each other. We need those connections. We need that vulnerability with one another. And if we're experiencing that, how much more those that don't have the Lord? And we need to be ready to give them the answers.